Hi, Rostislav. Du is organizer. This is Polish night. Hi guys, we are back with Du, and in this video we want to talk about his creative project. They're amazing for foreigners in Lviv, and they just
Amazing ideas,
Yeah.
okay.
and give us opportunity to bond and network, and give us cool things to do during quarantine. And so we discussed coffee places in Lviv, and Du is actually organizing meetings. He's actually becoming really socially so active and bonding, uniting international community. And at this time of COVID, when everything is down, he's creating opportunities for people to meet and bond, and opportunities to stimulate business in Lviv, especially coffee houses, spreading information about them. So can you tell me more?
So I created this group so that I can create some meaningful meetup, not just English club. Of course, we will speak in English, but create some meetup which has different perspective. It could be art, it could be writing, it could be talking about startup, it could be talking about Japan, it could be talking about some psychological issues, it could be talking about Valentine's Day, it could be talking about Ukrainian culture, it could be anything. We have different topic in every event, and we choose different location in different cafes. So we have these amazing kaviarnias or cafes which are helping us to give their whole space to ourselves, and I'm very delightful that they are helping me that way. I'm also helping them to get customer, but they're helping me to trust that okay, this person can bring, so we should empty our cafe and nobody else allowed. So which is great, and it's working out, and people, I guess a lot of people are liking my meetups, and I hope to make a society of cafe culture in a year or 2 years time, that there will be not only me, few other people who are also do this kind of meetup beside me. But it's still far away, but it's going in the right direction as far as I see. Yeah.
And I want to comment that the most favorite meeting for me that you organized was introduction about Poland. So it was Polish people introduced their country, described the country, showed us a map, and told us prominent places to see in Poland.
So maybe I will start with a question. Who of you was in Poland? So like maybe more or less half of you. So for you familiar with tourism, I will try to show you some places on the map of Poland which are less famous but worth to visit. So we as a Polish,
And then we also watched Polish movie.
Nie będziemy bywać sobą, nauczymy konia pływać, będziemy ze sobą bywać, nauczymy konia pływać, będziemy ze sobą bywać. Dziękuję bardzo.
We were discussing in our small groups what we know about Poland. For me, it was an amazing time. I love it. I loved meeting people, and I loved learning about Poland.
Me and Sasha there, and Peter and Lydia there, we're gonna go your table and we will ask you your thoughts about Poland and Polish culture. So you can speak in Ukrainian, English, Russian, totally up to you. It's not an English club. So just give your thoughts as you want to give, okay? So and thank you again for coming. So enjoy.
Thank you.
And next meeting on the 7th of March will be about Japan. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's really cool. We are doing so much effort to make this Japan night really cool for all of you, because it's guys, it's not so easy work. The location, the choosing the movie, choosing the theme, finding people who will represent the meeting. It's a many hours job, and we are doing it. Hopefully it will be really the most special one so far.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and the more work, the more preparation you do, the more planning you do, and the more people, useful people you will invite, the more we will gather as audience from it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah. And you know, like these days I get this messages in Facebook time to time that thank you for doing this for our city, and
Yeah.
you are bringing back the culture back. Believe me that if something makes me happy about this event, those messages, those single messages, not the money. I'm not expecting any single penny from that. A lot of people ask me like,
Yeah.
you do events for cafe, why don't you take some money from it? Why should I then? Why am I calling it help? So those little sentences, feedbacks I get, those really makes my day. Yeah.
So when you're coming to Lviv, you will come now. You know that you can attend these meetings because the selection of meetings for foreigners is limited now. Some places are closing, some places are open, but these meetings are stably happening in meeting if there's no lockdown. And also the Polish meeting took place in Carmel. It was an amazing, fascinating discovery for me, and in that location I filmed interview with Francois. It was amazing, the setting and the light. So yeah, a lot of benefits for me.
It's a really cool cafe. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Mm-hmm.
And so you also did a poetry night, yes?
No, we didn't do poetry night. We did a writing event, and that was a really great one as well, because there are a lot of people come in my events. I didn't know they are writers. So that night they came and they said, "Oh, I'm writing a book, and this is the story of my book." Wow, like that was a blow for me. Like, wow, you have that in you, like. You can never judge a book by cover, you know. So
Yeah.
that was a big blow for me. That there are a lot of simple people who come to my event, don't talk much, but they have such a deep insight, and they opened it up in that small meeting. It was a limited meeting for 10 people because I do some small meetups because I wanted people to talk freely. If there is 30 people, maybe some people will be shy to talk, because these are issues that people usually don't discuss with everybody. They just discuss with the people they feel comfortable with. So it was great.
And also you write a book, right? Can you
Yes.
tell me about it?
Well, I am not a published writer, but it doesn't matter. I am a writer. I'm writing since I am 18 years old. Now I'm 30, so it's been 12 years. Before I used to write like a lot of poems and stuff like that, but then I realized that I want to write for others, not for just myself. So I realized that the quality of my writing getting better. Let's do something for the world. So I chose some topic. So my main topic was that I have seen that, and I have faced as well, that the world is suffering not because of air pollution, not because of population, not because of lack of jobs, not because of all the other things that we said. Yes, there are all those matters and we need to solve it. The main thing that we are suffering from is loneliness and insecurity. And my book is based on loneliness and insecurity. So I have few long story and short story attached with one novel, and all this short story has the character who is a lonely person, but at least he or she wants to do something good to make this world not lonely like him or her. So this is how he want or she want to make this world a better place to live. So that's the message to other people from my book, that no matter how lonely you think, you need to learn how to make your loneliness into solitude, and it's an art. I mean, I think that the people who live a good life, they're an artist. They don't need to be a painter or writer to be an artist. Living a good life is already an art enough.
Can you tell me who are your favorite authors, just to understand your taste?
Okay,
And
so
your
yeah,
style.
okay. So my favorite author is D.H. Lawrence from England. I'm planning to do a painting evening where I will gather the painters, and I also plan to do some meetups where I will showcase some exhibition of some specific painter. Yeah, so those are coming up in future, in few months' time. Yeah.
Nice. And I want to tell you that I feel like Ukrainians, they're very much interested in poetry. And I also did, when as part of my manners club, I did a poetry meetup where I hired actor who taught people how to read their poetry, to also use body language and public speaking skills to translate your message through poetry effectively. It was amazing. So I realized the interest of Ukrainians in poetry and how many people really do write poetry.
Wow, this is really strange. Like This is also something that struck me like when I came here, because poetry is kind of like disappearing from many big cities around the world, where people have a lot of money, a lot of sources to read, but they don't have the feelings to write or feel poetry. They read books for making businesses, book
Yeah.
for making relationship, book for dealing with their life, but they don't read much poetry. When I came here and when I saw that people meet in the park to listen poetry, or they have some events for poetry nights or poetry evening, that's very surprising for me. I'm really touched by it, and in future surely I will do something dedicated to poetry, surely, that's for sure. Yeah. So at this moment I realized that the main beauty of Lviv, like, is the jewelry of Lviv is coffee shops. If you take this away, Lviv is just a city with some buildings, some abandoned, some beautiful, but the coffee shops are the jewel of Lviv. If 30% of them they close down after pandemic, we are losing a big deal of Lviv. And maybe a lot of people don't care much about it, but they will care when they lose it. They will think, oh, my city was really beautiful
Yeah,
2 years ago, but look at this. These coffee shops were so nice. I had so many good time here. But guys, before you lose it, it's time to do something so that we don't lose it. Because when I came here, I went to a few coffee shops 2 months, and I saw a lot of coffee shops have no customer in the evening, and they are great coffee shops,
yeah.
great atmosphere. So I mean, we don't need to give them money. Just go there, or just, if you have gone there, please spread the information to others that they can survive during this pandemic. It's really tough time for them. The rent is not so cheap in Lviv, but the prices of food or coffee is not so big profit for them. So like, they go through really tough times. Sometimes they even end up spending their old savings, but still they couldn't survive the business. Coffee shop is a very, very interesting element for Lviv. As a foreigner, I feel it that I must try my best to save it, and also people of Lviv should understand that as well. And another thing I realized, this is the first reason why I wanted to do this. Second reason that I realized that people started to understand that if they want to entertain themselves, they must go to nightclub, or they want to play some board games in some bar, or they must do some house party, which are all cool. I like them too. But there are many I would say introvert conversation, or more intellectual meetups we can do in some atmospheric places such as cafes. So that's another reason I really liked knowing about Paris, because Paris was so popular for its cafe culture. A lot of artists, a lot of art was created because there were so many nice cafes where people could meet and just drink a cup of coffee and create stuff.
And you work in Lviv, yes?
Well, yes. At this moment, I create these events, and I'm working on my book, and I teach English part time. I never thought I would teach English in Europe, but it never left me. So I came here, and this offer came, and I said, why not? And like, it's a few days a week, but I have some plan of startup this year. If things goes well, I wanna start up my own little art cafe. So that's my future project. If it goes well, then you will have a little tiny art cafe dedicated to Lviv. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think from what I see, you're building up the culture around it already.
Yeah.
social-
That's the thing I was doing for myself. Yeah. As I said, that I want to live a life for myself and the people around me. So of course I sometime I have to do for myself, because I have to live so like other people. Yeah. So I was making this community help local coffee shops. At the same time, if I do an art cafe in future, it might help me out as well. So yeah, I was doing for two reasons. Yeah.
Nice. And hopefully you will publish your book next year is the end date, yes, as we
Yeah.
discussed.
Yeah.
And I will be like, oh, I know this person. After you will become famous.
Well,
Yeah.
we will see. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For coffee shop, I have so many lists. It's endless.
Please like this video to subscribe to the channel, and also do something fun and creative in your country, and come to Lviv. Bye.